Get up, gearheads. The cars are rolling in for Caffeine and Octane, the largest monthly car show exclusively from Amelia Island. Fill up on some coffee, top off the Octane, and head on down.
This car was a world shocker. It was absolutely superlative.
Anybody can restore a car and spend more money than the next guy, but they're only original once.
This is the president of GM.
What's in this is a 427 L88. That was the beginning of what they call the mystery motor.
Skip, it's so many cars out there. Like, I even saw a Chevy Thunder section.
Well, it's the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance.
Man, you've judged these things before. How many different awards do they give?
Adam, literally hundreds, and all of them are for meticulously maintained cars. But my award goes to the Haggerty Drive Share Ride. It's a cool 1965 Daytona coupe. I'm gonna give it my lead car award here at the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Man, I even saw a kids judging section.
I saw that.
Now, I gotta get to the bottom of that.
When I'm judging, the most important part of the car is the engine.
Not just the outside of the car, it matters how it runs.
It's awesome to see that they are tough judges.
There's some VIPs out there, and I want to get their take on what they feel is the best car of the show. Why don't we head on out?
Let's do it. What I can't believe is that they let us drive on this golf course. This is a beautiful place. If it was mine, we wouldn't be driving on nothing.
Beautiful examples of each of the marquees. This little 54 Porsche Speedster. Sitting next to it, let's see, it's a 53 Fiat. I've never seen one of these.
Well, considering that there are only 8 of these cars that were ever produced, you would not be blamed for having never seen one before. This is a Fiat Autogoo Supersonic. This car was a world shocker. It was absolutely superlative, an incredibly revolutionary design, fully independent suspension, 8-cylinder, 2-liter motor, just incredible car to drive.
You said it has independent suspension. That's
correct.
That's real early.
Yeah, independent front and rear.
Front and rear?
Yes.
Whoa. Inline 8 or V8?
V8.
V8.
Which is thus the V8 name, which they couldn't call it V8 because Ford still held a patent on it at the time. So
that's amazing that Ford actually patented V8.
Went 8V instead.
There's some forethought there.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, exactly.
Twin cam, long tube headers. A lot of room in there.
Surprisingly, yeah.
And very tidy. I mean, there's not a lot of superfluous stuff. Very European.
So, fun fact, the big 3 all bought Supersonics. So Ford, GM, and Chrysler all bought Supersonics. Their design studios all purchased them.
Exactly, I would think so.
And you take one look at this car and you see where so many design features that appeared on domestic cars
I
years
see
later.
the taillights, the fin, the bonnet, the hood.
Italians make everything an art form, and not only is the body beautiful, you look at the gauges, and just the gauges were just an exercise in artistry, and the looks of it were enough to warrant having it, but the drive just sealed its place.
That makes a lot of sense because a car that looks this good needs to drive that good.
Absolutely.
My goodness, some of the most amazing Ferraris. Look at this, my favorite color, black tan.
Hey, how's it going?
Adam Merlin with
Nice to meet
Caffeine
you,
and
Adam.
Octane. Nice
Yeah,
to see
pleasure.
you. Tell us what this is.
Yeah, so this is our 1959 250 PF Cabriolet Series 2.
My father acquired this car about 32 years ago out of Beverly Hills. It's been in our family since. It's been a great car. We've all driven the car quite a bit. I learned to drive a standard transmission on it, crazy enough. It was in a flat parking lot, so there was no worry about
kids now?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No.
You're going to teach your kid how to drive a standard on this?
Yeah, probably on a rented Jeep.
I would think so. Yeah.
It's a very forgiving clutch, and it's a very easy car to drive. So he was pretty brave, but I think I did pretty well. You know, back then it was also a little bit different of a value on the car than it is today. But overall, I mean, of all of our vintage 1950s and 60s Ferraris, this is the one that I can get in every day and drive. The perfect balance of an everyday road-going car with the elegance of a coach-built Pininfarina body.
Notice this down here. What is it? Is that
It's your jack point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sketchy, but yes. That little blue jack in the rear.
Oh my gosh.
Pull that pin and it sticks in there and it actually jacks it up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a little sketchy.
Yep. We actually did have a flat on it one time. Used the spare tire and the jack that came with it. So they work. It's just, yeah. I would prefer to use more modern technology on it than what comes with it.
It's a 2017 Ferrari.
What's the horsepower?
That's a really good question.
Caffeine and Octane is brought to you by Haggerty. Let's drive together. And by Auto Tempest. All the cars, one search.
Judging by my calculations, there's at least 100 automotive makers and designers out here, all vying for their significance in the automotive industry. Now, judging automobiles here at Amelia Island is serious business done by serious automotive adults.
Yes.
What's the horsepower of this car?
The horsepower of this car is about 140.
But in one prestigious award presentation, the judges aren't even old enough to drive. But you know what? They are determined to have their say.
When I'm judging, the most important part of the car is the engine.
I am an artist, so I like to see how the cars are designed and made.
Not just the outside of the car, it matters how it runs.
All the cars have personality, I noticed. It's really cool.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Rachel, and I'm so excited to be doing youth judging with you guys this morning. We took 15 young judges around the show field and introduced them to a wide selection of vehicles, talked to the owners, introduced them to what made that vehicle special to them, and the basics of judging.
Amelia Island Concours was the first major car event that allowed us to create the youth judging program here. We run between 75 and about 125 youth judging programs per year around the world.
How you doing?
Hi, good, how are you?
I'm Ricky Gass, this is Layla.
Oh, okay, hi, nice to meet you.
My daughter Layla is 14 and is one of the youth judges this year.
So we have 5 awesome cars that we're gonna be going to visit today. When we're there, ask as many questions as you want.
So Galaxy Skyliner.
That's what I was about to say.
This is a 1959 Ford Galaxy. This is the first mass-produced retractable hardtop in this particular generation. But for us parents and even grandparents, we could probably remember the Jetsons and cartoons like that, where this was more the era of the times. You can see the taillights look like a turbine. In a sense, they were looking for a more futuristic approach. This particular car has a 352 V8 in it, which would be the largest motor. I want you guys to make your own decision on what you think of the car.
It's awesome to see that they are excited to be out here. They are tough judges.
He paid about $40,000, about twice the price of a Silver Ghost Rolls Royce or a Bentley. So that was a pretty big amount of money.
Probably my favorite would be the Hispano Suiza over there. That'd be very cool. I love that car. The character is really cool.
Why is the steering wheel on the other side?
They hadn't decided which side of the road to be driving on. It's a very, very fast, big car.
I love that.
I'm surprised So you're into sports cars and muscle cars.
I am.
Going fast.
But I am also into luxury cars.
Yeah, but that's
a luxury.
That is a luxury car. That's a big, old luxury car, and I'm so surprised. You got an old soul. You heard that before?
Yeah. It's a Porsche.
It is a Porsche. So I'm really surprised she's genuinely liking the old stuff that they're showing her. Who knew?
It's a 1951, and this is our only Porsche we're judging.
What model is this?
356-2. This has metallic paint. What they did to get the sheen was they mixed fish scales in with the paint to reflect the light.
Just the speed and the sound of the Porsche, the inside of the car. Like, there's a backstory of every car, and the Porsche backstory is probably my favorite.
What year was your car?
It's a 2017 Ferrari, but it's a special Ferrari because it's one of one. The inspiration for this car is the car right behind us. And this is a 1965 Ferrari race car. This is supposed to look like a modern version of that car. They made custom luggage for the car that matches the interior. This is that Alcantara suede.
What's the horsepower?
What's the horsepower? That's a really good question. I think it's 765 horsepower.
I really like the interior. The engine was really cool. The design was nice, and the body was really well designed.
Oh, E.T.
My last name is Vetter, so we call all of our custom cars, their title is a Vetter, extraterrestrial vehicle. I've built about 200 custom cars up to this date. This is really just something so the person can stick their head out when we drop something in. See, the car kind of changes the look when you close that.
It's like a futuristic car. It's like a car that you would see in the Jetsons.
Let's give these kids at the Haggerty Youth Program an absolute round of applause. Well done, well done, well done. Such an expert panel of judges here choosing what they think is the best of show. The Haggerty Awards. So in third place was the 356 split window from 1951. Second place finisher, the Ferrari SP275. The winner of the Haggerty Youth Awards, Charles Neerberg in the Hispano Suiza, the H6C. Isn't it fantastic that such a young panel of judges have chosen a pre-war car as their favorite car of the whole concours?
We've done this program since 2007. It's really Haggerty's way to give back to the next generation, introduce them to cars, hope it sparks an interest for our next generation of enthusiasts.
Personally, I would have picked the one-of-one Ferrari, but it ain't me. It's them. They pick what they like. It's beautiful, though. This is the president of GM. I want to know if they like what I like.
What do you think?
So we're here at Amelia, and I ran into friends of the show. This is Mark, the president of GM, right? And in charge of design and interior and everything.
In charge of styling.
And styling is Michael. So I want to know if they like what I like. Let's go see if we can pick out a favorite car real quick.
Yep, absolutely. All right. What do you think? There's an L88 Corvette right there.
See, now you're speaking my style.
Yeah, this is a Big Thunder engine. What's in this is a 427 L88.
So the 427 back then made generally about 400 horsepower?
Well, that was the beginning of what they called a mystery motor. So there was an SAE horsepower rating, and then there was a real today's type horsepower rating.
Meaning politically correct.
Yes, that's right.
What we will announce.
That's exactly
horsepower,
right. That's
and then real horsepower.
Yeah. They were pretty big out.
They were underrated from the factory.
Way underrated. In fact, here's the owner of the car, Erwin. Tell us about the car a little bit.
How are you? Your name is?
Erwin.
Erwin. This is your car.
It
This is my car.
It is.
You got a gem.
Yep.
I do. And this was the only factory L88 car. The other ones were made cars.
So this is original.
This is an original factory L88 car.
Crazy. Yeah, no, it's unbelievable.
560 horsepower out of the factory, and that's 1968.
We just talked about that, right? So you know they only rated it at 435.
Absolutely.
They only rated it at 435.
Getting good.
And if you look at what happens next, it's sort of sitting right here.
Right here?
Yes, right here.
What is this?
Unbelievable partnership with McLaren in '71, which is a Can-Am series, which is sort of an unlimited series. Fascinating story on what you see coming out of there.
This is crazy.
Which, out of that engine, velocity stacks. That's what those are called.
Never seen
and you look at the different angles, and you look at the different ways that it draws air into the engine. And this was developed at R&D in General Motors in that time, and became some of the most fascinating fluid dynamics of drawing air into an engine to make power. So it was really something.
We use this same technology in motorcycles. We have intake stacks inside the airbox.
Oh my gosh.
And the different heights change the velocity.
It does, yep.
So they were doing it they were smart enough
1971.
to do it way back then. Well, how much, so this was a run what you brung class. Hope you brought enough, right?
This would have been upwards of 1,000.
Yeah,
Right?
a step up from the last car.
Yeah. This was
1,000 horsepower?
When people think about 70s Can-Am cars, this is the one they think about.
Well, listen, I know you guys are super busy.
Yep.
I really appreciate you taking time out, Mark.
Thank you very much.
Michael, thank you so much.
Nice.
Keep designing. Thank you guys once again.
Thank you very much. Yeah, nice meeting you, man.
This, my friend, is an original car since 1950. 106 years old.
Caffeine and Octane is brought to you by Haggerty. Let's drive together. And by Auto Tempest. All the cars, one search.
Well, this is race cars, 46 to 60, and it's a 57 Ford. And this is really a muscle car, race car.
Hi, Skip. Nice to meet you. Rich Stuck.
Nice to meet you, Rich. Beautiful car.
Thank you. It was really Ford's first muscle car, even though they didn't call them muscle cars.
Exactly.
These engines were advertised at 300 horsepower, but they were actually making 340 to 370, depending on the boost and the cam.
What kind of boost does this put out?
Well, originally, they put out 3 to 7. As you accelerated, you went from 3 pounds of boost to 7 pounds of boost.
Really?
This was the cheapest car they built that year. You could get these for maybe $1,750. This car has no options except that engine. There's no heater, no radio.
On radio delete, clock delete.
It only has one sun visor, no armrests, no horn.
All of that was optional.
Yes, all optional, no horn ring.
But it does have an ashtray.
It does have an ashtray, but it doesn't have a lighter.
Oh, they didn't put it in. That was an option.
That was $4. Come on.
Yeah. And that's a 57 muscle car.
57 muscle car.
Oh my goodness, I have seen some of the most amazing, perfectly restored cars until I come to the famous or infamous, I guess it depends on who you ask, Corky Coker Tire Company, right?
That's right. That's
Founded
right.
Coker Tire Company.
And the Coker Museum and Honest Charlie Speed Shop. And my sweetheart, Teresa, is here with us. Anybody can restore a car and spend more money than the next guy, but they're only original once. This, my friend, is an original car since 1950. Today at Amelia Island, I brought a 1915 Simplex town car, model 38 horsepower, original town car.
So what's a Simplex? I mean, I don't think a lot of us don't even know what that is.
Well, before 1920, there were 3,000 or 4,000 car companies that didn't make it past 1920. Simplex is one of them. Made in Long Island, New York.
So a car like this in its day, like, is this a halo car? Is this like a, so this is like, this is a big deal,
This is a big deal.
Right.
A Ford in 1915 cost $375. This probably cost about $4,500.
Oh my God.
In 1915,
So
which is about 250 grand a day's money.
Right. So is it chauffeur driven? Is that kind of how they used it back then?
That's right. So original interior, and this thing's got a cigarette lighter in it. It's got an intercom that is amazing. The queen in the back would do the bulb horn, and it would come out in the driver's ear, the chauffeur's ear.
To see something from 1915, completely unrestored, I mean, it's just absolutely spectacular. I mean, even, you know, the character of the, I mean, just the old material, the cracking.
Just think, that cow probably lived at about 1910.
Yeah, right. Look at the vase on the inside. You put fresh flowers in there? Is
Oh,
that,
sure.
yeah.
Fresh plastic flowers.
You know, I have a fixture like that on the outside of my house. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact.
The blinds roll down.
Oh my God.
So I could go back into the back and smooch my sweetie.
There you go.
And nobody could see.
Plenty of room back there.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
tell you
right.
what. So what do you, like, if something breaks or like a part, God forbid, something falls off, like, you're toast, right? I mean, there's no replacing, right?
Well, you just have to make.
Over here.
We did. We lost a hubcap coming here, and you know, a guy walked up and said, "I have a gift for you." And I looked down, and it was a Simplex hubcap. And I looked down at my left front, and it had spun off at the red light out here. And, and I said, "Oh, I need to kiss you."
Oh, heck yeah.
So mark that down. If you go to Caffeine and Octane, all the guys are good guys and they're going to take care of each other. There's no way I'd ever restore this car. I bought it with the full intention of just keeping it, maintaining it, never ever restoring this car, but enjoying it.